Hello and welcome to the Sewing Studio. Today is month 4 of our block of the month, our Christmas mystery block of the month. So we're just going to have a little recap. So month 1 was our Christmas tree, month 2 was our gingerbread man, and month 3 was our present block. And today I'm going to show you how to make this gorgeous little snowman block. So for this, you'll need a piece of background fabric which measures 6 inches by 4.5 inches. And I've chosen this sort of sparkly background so it looks a little bit like snow. So I've drawn my snowman pieces, and this is really easy because if you think about it, it doesn't really matter too much what shape they are, they're snowmen. So I've done 2 circles which are approximately 2 inches across, and I've drawn those onto bonda web and I've ironed them onto the back, and they are going to be the body of the snowman. So for his head, the perfect thing for his head is a cotton reel. So I've just drawn around the cotton reel, and if you remember how to do bonda web is we're going to cut out, not on our line, we're just going to cut around the line, and then we're going to press that onto a piece of felt. So I've used felt for my snowmen. You may decide that you want to use white fabric or cream fabric, that's absolutely fine, but I've used felt. And then you cut out on the line. So hopefully the camera above me is showing you this, and we're going to cut it out all the way round on the line. So we've got 2 of the body pieces, and then we've got 2 of the head pieces. And what we do is we break the back of the bonda web and we peel the back off. And we put them where we want them to be roughly. So what we don't want to do is to go too near to the edge, because remember, when we come to join all our blocks together, we're going to need a 1/4 inch seam. So I'm just going to put the heads where I want them to be. And what you might want to do is you might want to just straighten the bottom of the head so it sits a bit better to the body, which is what I've done on that one, but you can't see it because of the scarf. So I'm just going to put that like that, just nip a little bit off there like that, and then I'm going to take those back over to the iron and I'm going to press them in place. So just line them up so they're not too near the edge. And I'm going to tuck the heads just behind the bodies like that. And then I'm going to press them in place. And with felt, it does need a little bit more pressure and heat from the iron to make it stick. So there's our 2 snowmen. The next thing I did was I did this blanket stitch, and I used 2 strands of DMC thread, and I just did a hand stitch all the way round in blue. So different blues to choose from. I think I used number 932 in the DMC. And what that does is, if you've got a light background, it just gives a bit of blue and also gives the image of it being cold. The next thing I did was to decorate the snowmen. So I did buttons for the eyes. I cut out a carrot shape for the noses, and I've actually glued the noses. So the orange felt, I used this high tack glue, which is really good, and that's just stuck those noses in place because that was a little bit fiddly with the bonda web. So I've also done buttons on their tummy And then the hats and scarves, it doesn't really matter what shape too much. They don't have to match. You can see that I've done her one slightly different shape and I've done his that shape. So I've just drawn 2 hats, and again I'm going to cut out, not on the line, so rough cut it. And you don't have to do it. I've done those in felt, but let's say I'm going to just use up this little scrap here. So press that onto my fabric, and then I'm going to cut that out on the line. And with my pin, I'm going to break the back of the bonda web. And then I'm going to press that on at a jaunty angle. I'm just going to bring that down a little bit because I don't want it too near the edge because of our seam. So I'm just going to press that on like that. So you can see he's starting to take shape. And the same with the scarves. I just cut out, I drew a shape which looked like a reverse 7 for the scarf, and I put that on. But as I've said in previous videos, it may be better to leave the buttons and do all the embellishing at the end, just because it makes it easier when you come to put these together. So I would do all the outline shapes and maybe leave the buttons and do that right at the very end once we've got all our blocks joined together. So that's how you make the snowman. So you can make whatever colour scarf you want. So you can see his scarf is slightly different shape to this scarf. I've also cut some tassels on it. So as always, make it your own, have fun, and I look forward to seeing you next month for the next block of the month.